Good morning to you.
Okay.
Yes.
So what are your full names?
My full names are Brighton Ochieng Obodo.
Okay, Brighton Ochieng Obodo.
Yes.
So what crop do you have right now in your farm?
I have tomato.
Okay. What is the variety of the tomato?
It is Dani F1.
Dani F1.
Yes.
Can you remember when you planted it?
Okay, it has taken something like 2 months from the date of transplanting.
Okay. And when you planted it, what are the fertilizers that you used?
At planting, I used DAP.
Okay.
Yes.
And between that time and when I visited you, how was your crop looking like?
They were not that healthy until I started using Agrimax on it.
Okay. And what was the weather like? Was it rainy?
It was shiny. The weather was actually very dry.
It was very dry.
It was very dry, yes.
Okay. And what is the size of your farm as a whole?
My farm is 1.2 acres.
1.2 acres.
Yes.
So if I may just go back a bit, before, when you are planting the same type of a crop, how many, what are the fertilizers that you are using in your farm?
Okay, way back after having planted with the DAP, I put up best with the CN.
And then?
And on sprays, maybe on a weekly scheduled spray, I would use foliar fertilizers like Easy Grow Vegetative, things like that. Yeah.
Okay. Like how many kilos of DAP would you use in 1 acre?
I would use 50 kilograms
50
of
kilograms.
DAP. Yes.
What about CN?
CN the same amount, but I apply it twice.
Okay. And DAP, what is the price of DAP in Homa-Bay here?
If you buy at the National Cereals and Produce Board, it costs 2,500.
What about in the agrovet?
In the agrovet, it goes beyond 3,000 and some hundred.
3,000, okay. And what is the yields that you will get from 1 acre of tomatoes initially?
Initially, I would get something like 80 to 90 crates.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and now in this particular plot, you said that it is 1.25 acre.
Yes, 1.2 something.
1.2.
Yes.
Okay, so when you sprayed Agrimax the first, the crops were not in very good health.
Yes.
And after how many days did you start seeing change in them?
In fact, after 3 to 4 days, I started seeing just immediate change. It did not take long.
Okay.
Yes.
And how was the crop looking like? What was the flowering like?
I think this farm was the talk of the area. Okay. And even from your own perspective, you can even see it for yourself. Yes, I was expecting so much, but flowers were very, very perfect. In fact, it was flowers all over.
Okay. So, how many crates were you expecting to get from this farm?
Definitely from this farm, I expected well above 300 crates.
Okay. How many liters of Agrimax did you spray?
On the first spray, I sprayed 1 liter of Agrimax. It was enough for the whole farm. In the subsequent spray, I sprayed 1.5 liter of Agrimax. Okay. Because the vegetative coverage was now increasing.
Okay. And right now they don't look very nice. What is it that has happened to them?
Actually, we've experienced unexpected rainfall. It has come on a larger scale than you expected.
Okay, so there was running water in the tomato.
There was running water, and even the downpour was just too much for the kind of soil here to sustain. Okay,
what would you tell farmers around here in Samanga area?
Okay, farmers around Samanga or even anywhere else within Homa-Bay County or Kenya at large, I would want them to try Agrimax. Because me as a farmer, I've tried it and I've seen. Okay. And I've seen for myself.
So you are fully convinced that Agrimax is a good
fully
product
convinced.
For your
very. And in fact,
tomatoes.
if you look at the cost effectiveness, it is very cost effective. Yes, you compare the price of Agrimax, the spray, vis-a-vis the contemporary fertilizer that you use, you realize that you spend a lot more on the fertilizer than in the Agrimax. Okay. So in the long run, the profit margin when you use Agrimax is higher.
Okay. So some of your leaders, like the assistant chief, the county leaders, will be so your message in short to everybody in Homa-Bay is that they should be using Agrimax
that is in their crops. In their crops, in fact, let them use Agrimax because I'm very sure that if this is what it has done to the tomato crops here, then it can as well do wonderfully well on other crops like maize and any other thing.
Okay. Is there any crop that you are doing apart from this one currently?
No, currently I'm doing tomatoes.
Or alone?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have any other tomatoes elsewhere? Apart
Yes,
from here?
I have other tomatoes elsewhere.
Have you used Agrimax on them?
No, I do not use Agrimax on it.
And can you compare their health?
In fact, in terms of health or even in terms of yield, the one that I've used Agrimax has shown a lot of potential than the other one.
Okay, thank you, Brighton. I think that is enough for today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for the Agrimax.
Okay.